you ever wondered why we don't have modern masters in art? You're probably aware of the old masters, the legacies of which likely need no explanation. Yet, despite all the accumulated knowledge and tools that modern artists hold, it still seems like nobody's ascended to the level of these art legends. Or have they? I'm Andy, a primarily digital artist striving towards professional level work. And to answer that, we need to first understand what made an old master. Skill alone wasn't enough, nor was fame or success during their lifetime. Mastery is a combination of skill, historical significance, your impact on art, and ultimately the test of time. So what happens when we begin to apply this same idea to artists today? Well, before I mention any specific names, I first want to mention how much pro-level artwork we have today. Video games, TCG art, animation, among other forms of entertainment have created an enormous demand for artists. And unlike the past, modern industries have made it viable for artists to specialize in their chosen niche. We have artists who spend their careers almost exclusively in character design, others in environments, creatures, concept art, and much more. But the industry doesn't have a monopoly on skilled artists. If you spend any time on social media, you'll be shocked at just how many highly skilled artists you'll find, with some only having a handful of followers. There's way too many amazing artists today to highlight in one video, so if you want to shout out your favorites, I'd love to see it in the comments below. Obviously, the subject matter I'm showing is a bit different than the figurative, often religious works of the Renaissance. But if we're looking for living artists whose work more closely resembles the old masters, they exist too. Jeff Watts, Steve Huston, James Gurney, and probably even more yet to be discovered. Mastery goes far beyond a specific art style or subject matter though, and there's one artist whose sheer technical ability and impact made him a particularly strong contender for the title of Modern Master, and that's Jung Gi. If you're aware of his work, you probably already know where I'm going with this. His ability to draw incredibly complex scenes from imagination, often without any reference or sketching prior, was something to behold. His technique also became a huge part of his influence on other artists. There's plenty of artists who can create visually stunning work, but very few become recognizable for the sheer technical ability behind their creations. To put it simply, this man had aura. But looking closer at the criteria of mastery I spoke about earlier, Jung Gi does check a few of these boxes. His skill and influence on other artists is a no-brainer. Historical significance, though, is a bit difficult to say. And of course, there's the biggest problem: time. We ultimately have no idea what his legacy will look like hundreds of years from now, but we can visibly see his impact today, how iconic his technique became, and how many people he inspired with his work. But what we can't see is whether those things will contribute to his relevance in the future. That's likely the biggest reason we struggle to name any modern masters, because we simply can't know until the passage of time crowns the next era. In the future, who do you think will be the new old masters? If you enjoyed this video, you might also like this one I released recently, where I forced myself to finally finish full drawings.